What's up, Mom Nation, and happy 2026. This is the very first Live and Learn of 2026. So it's special. Tamara, you get a prize. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to have you. And I know that you are going to be one of our mom's favorite guests of the year, just based on what we are about to dive into, because mamas love it when they get to save money, but they still get great help, great guidance on the other end. And I know because we are kind of starting to work together, right? I mean, we have a bit of a newer relationship, but I have a feeling that it's going to get better and better as the years fly by us, as we're already noticing, halfway into January. It's crazy. So I know it'll come quickly, and I know we'll be having many of these in the future. So I'm excited for that. And thank you again for bringing your expertise to the table. Moms out there, you know that this is for you. These shows are geared toward our mama audience. So if you are finding value in our episodes, we have many podcasts here at MOMnation. Please do us a favor. It's kind of like a big hug. It's kind of like a big thank you, because all of this information is free, guys. You're not paying for it. So if you find value in it, please do us a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is at MOMnation USA. And with that, I will let Tamara take it away. And what she is talking about today, guys, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you are absolutely going to love, because as we're adulting, we come across legal issues and situations where we need legal documents, and we need to understand those legal documents, right? So Tamara, tell us a bit about what you do for our mamas, please.
Yeah, I got into the legal field about 10 years ago. I was the child of divorced parents. My mom spent several years court battling custody, and I would probably say from the age of 10, I always said I wanted to be an attorney. And I ended up starting a family really young at 21. And so law school just was not in the cards. But I finished and I got my paralegal certificate, and I knew I wanted to go into family law. And so I started in family law. I loved it. And one of my colleagues told me about the legal document preparation program. And it basically is Arizona's initiative to create and find individuals that can provide legal assistance or affordable legal assistance to the public. Attorneys are wonderful, they're a great resource, but not everybody can afford attorneys, especially single moms, moms that have been married for a long time. Maybe they've been stay at home. And they're just looking for some procedural guidance so that they can know what to expect in the process. And I watched my mom go through the custody process, pay for attorneys, and I really felt like being an LDP was my calling, because the less stress a mom is under, or any parent is under, then it doesn't trickle down always to the kids. And so in my heart, I feel like I'm helping children keep their parents' sanity, and they can enjoy their kids without all the high cost of attorneys. And when you know where you're going, I think you can stay a little bit more level-headed when you know what to expect and prepare for. So that's what I really try and focus on with my clients. I am a little bit more unique, I would have to say, on the LDP side, just because I'm not your traditional Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 LDP. My clients are working families, and they don't want to take that PTO. I want you to use that PTO to go do stuff with your kids.
Yes.
So I offer weekend and evening appointments, consultation, in person, virtual, whatever it works for clients. And I just overall, I just want to keep that family unit intact as much as possible. I work collaboratively with spouses. So if things are amicable and maybe you don't want to go spend a ton of money on an attorney to draft up something that's fully agreeable, I work with both people and draft up documents when things are amicable, but I do have trial experience, so I am able to help clients get through trial preparation, get their ducks in a row, outline, things like that. The biggest difference between myself and an attorney is where an attorney is more focused on legal strategy, and an LDP, we are more focused on document preparation, procedural accuracy, and making sure that all of the documents that you file are in compliance with their state statutes.
That's awesome. And I appreciate that you do that for families out there. And I can see where there's a big need for that. What is a typical situation, if there is anything typical, right? Because we know with these things, every client is different, every situation is different. But there are a lot of similarities, I'm sure, too. So is there a typical scenario that you tend to see more often than not, or would be like the best situation for you and your services?
So the biggest one I see is amicable separations or amicable child custody agreements. So mom and dad are partners, um, agree on everything. They just want to make sure that their paperwork is right. And they want
Yeah.
to talk to somebody who has the experience, can say, hey, did you think about X, Y, and Z? Because when you think child custody, you don't really think about, okay, who's going to pick up and drop off? Where are we going to, where's that location that we're going to exchange our child or children? What are exceptions? What happens when you've got two holidays that are conflicting?
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years of experience, I've heard these stories and these different scenarios, and I try to make sure that clients are covered in all of that when it becomes an amicable situation. Another situation is I've got, a client that maybe they're not ready to hire that attorney. They want to save their money more towards trial, where it can get a little bit more costly. And they just need to make sure their paperwork is in order, get the process going so that their retainer for an attorney isn't necessarily eaten up with just the very preliminary beginning of their case. Um, or I see it too with just modification. It's not even just starting the process. It's okay, we did it. We've experienced, this is our likes, this is our dislikes, this is what we would change, this is what we would keep the same. We're both on board, and we just want to put something in writing to cover both of us, and we just need some changes. Or, it's been 5 years and child support needs to be addressed. And, partners, ex-partners have had kids, they've finished schooling, they might have gotten raises, things like that. So I can pretty much handle most of the typical situations. The only thing I just can't do for clients is show up to court and litigate for them. So that's where I have a wonderful referral network from different attorneys different price ranges, different backgrounds, different specialties. And I provide those resources to clients in the event that, they're like, okay, this is becoming litigated. I think I need an attorney.
Yeah.
So, and I've worked with each one of my referred attorneys in one way or another. So I'm familiar with their work, their backgrounds.
Yeah, that's important. And that's awesome. I mean, what a great resource you are. And I love and this is something that, oops, almost dropped my microphone. This is something that I do as well. Hey, if I can't do it for you, then here's who can, right? And it's
Mhm.
really important to have those resources in your back pocket that are tried and true, that are trusted, that you've worked with before. I know that as a mom going through, or a dad going through something as stressful as a divorce, even if it is amicable, that can mean the world, because sometimes it's difficult to even do our daily tasks, right? Let alone source and vet a professional that really is going to make a big deal or make or break our case. So I love that you do that. Um, Before coming to you, so let's just consider an amicable situation. What do you have any suggestions for the couple and what they can do to prepare before coming to you? I mean, do you ask them to submit some sort of document, or like what does that look like so that you can do what you need to do?
Yeah. So when I first have clients kind of send out feelers, they're calling around, they think this is might what happened. Just recently, within the last, I would say 6 months, I've developed a divorce checklist. And it's just kind of an outline for clients that I provide to them and say, if you're going to be talking with things, if you're going to use a counselor to be working through these issues, take this checklist. These are all the things that are entailed in a divorce or child custody. proceeding, and use it as a guideline, use it as a tool, and discuss each one of these areas. And then that I've gotten some really good positive feedback from clients, from counselors that have reached out to me that help with divorcing couples. They've really liked it. It kind of keeps everything on track.
Hmm.
Um, I during divorce and child custody. And so this is something that they can hold on to stay on track. And then once they come to me, they feel that they've covered all of their issues. I give clients my intake that discusses all of those topics more in detail. Parenting plans, holiday plans, income information, job, how we're going to divide assets and properties. I can't tell clients or give clients legal advice as to what is fair and equitable, but typically the Arizona court system, people are more likely to follow agreements that they've made themselves than what a judge imposes on them. So
Yeah.
Arizona is great in the aspect that, maybe it's not necessarily 50-50 as far as assets or parenting time or anything like that. But if it works for the family, then Arizona's okay with that as long as it's, reasonable and both parties are willing to sign. So, um, you know, parents don't necessarily have to worry about, okay, the house has got 100,000 in equity. We each get 50-50. Maybe mom needs a little bit more or take it, but on the back end, they're going to make it up somewhere else with another asset.
Hmm.
So it can be amicable and work through things. But the intake is the biggest thing. I review that. If I have any questions, I follow up with clients, get some clarity on things. If they've been a little bit more vague, I just tell them from experience, things may be amicable now, but you are divorcing for a reason. Let's, let's think about X, Y, and Z, and what safeguards can we put in place for both parents and the children to make sure we can reduce conflict as much as possible.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure that is so helpful for people too, especially the checklists, right? Like when you're in a stressful situation, I know for me, for example, I know this is a silly example, but getting ready for a vacation, right? It's like kind of stressful. We're business owners. We have so many things to think about aside from normal household stuff, packing, kids, all of that junk. And having a checklist just makes it a little easier and a little less stressful to just go through that whole list and check all of the boxes. So I really love that you do that. I'm sure that's real helpful to your couples out there, your mamas out there. Is there anything else that you see frequently that you tend to work with that doesn't align with divorce or isn't divorce related?
So a lot of the times I see married couples, they've created an estate plan to take care of their kids, their house, those what if situations. Um, and a lot of times, and within the last 4 years, I've had a lot of clients once I've helped finish the divorce. They're like, do you do estate planning? Do you do trusts, wills, power of attorney? And I didn't. And then the more and more it came, I decided, what, I really think that estate planning would be a key part of my business to add to the family law sector, just because families are starting over. And so it's
Mhm.
still have those estate planning measures put into place, especially as a single parent. So you want to make sure your kids are taken care of financially. If you're in a high conflict situation, do you necessarily trust your ex to handle the inheritance for the kids, or do you want to put somebody else in charge? So it's really important. And with divorce or child custody and estate planning, I do see them go hand in hand a lot. So I do offer both family law and estate planning services to my clients at a lower cost alternative than an attorney. You typically see estate planning. I've seen it anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 for
Mhm.
a trust package, and my costs are under $1,000 for a trust package. So it is definitely more affordable for the estate planning.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now, if there are changes required, a variety of things can happen in life, right? Then do you make those modifications to what you had already put together? Yeah, you do. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So my trusts are revocable, meaning while the owner of the trust is living, you can make changes. So whether it's an
Mhm.
amendment, just in beneficiaries, kids get older, Once they reach adult age, then, if you want to put your kids in charge of your estate, we can certainly do the restatement part of the trust. And even if it's an existing trust that I didn't prepare, I can still make changes to that trust, change your executors, successor trustees, things like that. So, yeah, pretty much any time through your estate planning, I'm happy to help. Powers of attorney, property deeds. Katie, I'm sure you've come across many times in the real estate industry needing to change property ownerships or
Mhm.
transfer over property. So I help clients there as well.
Awesome to know that. There is definitely many an occasion when a quit claim is needed. So absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is there anything else that we should cover that we have not that you think is important for our mamas out there to know about you?
I would only say the only thing is I'm mobile. So I work out of my home. I'm a mom
Cool.
of five, and I really want to pass down that savings to clients. So I don't have a brick and mortar. So I'm mobile. I come to moms, I come to clients, I do after hours. So that's really where I feel that my niche is unique. Because I offer so much flexibility with clients in addition to the cost savings for clients.
And that's so needed, especially as a mom. I mean, you have five, I have one. I don't know how y'all do it with more than one. But,
Just
sending
a
love
day
and
at a
hugs.
time. Yep, just a day at a time. I get that question. How do you do that? A business? And just I take every day at a time, and I can't, it's that's all you can do. You can't plan.
True that. No, a lot of things you certainly can't. But some things you can, like your estate, right?
Yes, you can. And estate planning is so important, just because money changes so many people, and unfortunately, and with estate planning, it reduces that conflict. And so that way families can stay intact. And that's really where my heart is in the industry, is making sure families can stay intact and survive hard times together and still come out in the end whole.
I love that. Well, thank you. And thank you for all that you do for mamas and families out there. What's the best way, actually, I should ask, for our moms to connect with you? Do you offer consultations? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah, so I do free consultations. I can do them virtually, in person. I am an LDP that you can text, so I don't mind doing text, phone call, email. I'm pretty much reachable no matter what. Um, I love the in person, but busy moms don't have time for that. So if you need to jump on a Zoom real quick during nap time, I'm happy to help.
That's too funny. I actually have a call with a seller coming up, and she's like, "Can you do nap time?" Of course, I can do nap time. I
Yeah.
totally get it. As moms, we can move mountains during nap time. Like, it's incredible.
Yes.
So it's a very important time. Lots gets done during that time. Well, thank you again, Tamara, for being with us today. It was an absolute pleasure getting to know you a little bit better and learning about your very unique approach to all of this. And I appreciate that you do that. It certainly makes things easier for mamas out there that are juggling a lot, because we are.
Yeah.
Even if we have one, I promise we're juggling a lot. So thank you for
Sometimes one
that.
feels five.
True that. Have you met my son? He's such a great kid, but he's definitely a handful. So that's
Yeah.
the truth. All right, guys,
Well,
hop
thank
on
you
over
so
to
much.
our. You're so welcome. It was a pleasure having you. Hopefully, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm going to, probably send you a message, say, "Hey, Tamara, you want to come back on, talk about something else?" Because I feel like we can dive in a little bit deeper into some of this stuff. And I really want to do that in future episodes for our mamas. So
Absolutely.
I will be in touch, my friends. All right, guys, if you want to check out any of our previous episodes, we have been doing this live and learn thing for years now. Like, there are hundreds of videos out there, and it's just like Tamara's video, where we are talking with a professional that is here to share some specialized knowledge with you, to teach you something that you can run with right away, like as soon as you listen to the episode. So we've got many like that over on our YouTube channel. It is at MOMnation USA. That's our handle. Like I mentioned in the beginning, if you are finding value here, please just click that little bell and follow us. I'd really appreciate it. And it definitely sends us a great big hug. If you prefer to listen podcast style on your favorite podcast platform, do a quick search for MOMnation Talk Radio. There you will find us, like, download, notify, all the things, notify. Click the bell to notify. That's what I meant by that. All right, guys. Have an awesome day, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Welcome to MOMnation, where moms find real support, real connection, and real community. Founded in 2014 by Katie Holly Lambert, MOMnation started as a way to unite and empower moms. Now it's grown into a movement. Through vibrant communities, local events, and meaningful conversations, MOMnation helps moms grow, share, and thrive together. Listen to From the Heart, where we share inspirational stories, useful information, and discuss a variety of women-related topics. And check out Live and Learn, where moms just like you share helpful tips, tools, and real-life skills. Be part of something bigger. Visit www.momnation.com and follow us on social media, because motherhood is better when we do it together.